Hey, what's going on, everybody? David Noe with Speakeasy HR, presented by Payroll Partners. We are at the last episode before the end of the year. So I have an awesome guest with me to round out the 2024 year. Nicole Roberts, welcome to Speakeasy HR.
Hello. Thank you so much for inviting me. I greatly appreciate it. I'm really excited to be here and maybe even have some cameos of baby kittens join us. Who knows?
Yeah, and we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Your Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube with Speakeasy HR. You can find everything that I've done in the past on speakeasyhr.com. So if you have not, jump over there, watch any previous episodes. I have a new blog. So speakeasyhr.com. And if you obviously listen to podcasts on Spotify or wherever else, you will find this episode on there on demand. So we have, like I said, this is the last episode before the end of the year. So if you are watching live, we'd love to hear from you. Ask questions, chime in where you're watching. If you have any just comments about the holidays, if you're ready for the holidays, I've got a couple of theme, just some fun additions to the background for the holidays. I feel like I'm kind of ready for the holidays to be here. Like, I don't know. I've pretty much done with the shopping, and I don't know. Are you ready to go with the holidays?
Yeah. So my kids are 16 going on 17 and 19 and 19 going on 20 or 18 going on. No, 19 going on 20. That doesn't even sound like it's realistic to me. That's why I had to stop myself. I'm like, wait, no, he's not. Yes, he is. And so gifts and Christmas and stuff like that for them is becoming more and more about the quality time.
Yeah.
And less about how many presents did I buy you? How many presents did I buy you? What does the tree look like underneath? Normally this time I would have had everything wrapped. It'd be under the tree already. And that's just simply not the case this year. We're focusing on experiences and, we have these two new little baby kittens in the house, and my son is in school at Miami. So he's really good at being a college student. I don't even know when I'm going to see him next. So, I mean, my daughter doesn't have a choice because she lives here, but it's just, it's different than when they were little and it was counting down to all these different kind of milestone things to do with the holidays.
Yeah. It's for us. It's obviously we've got kids teenage years now, and the gifts they want are a little bit more expensive, so they don't get as much. Mm-hmm. And my family's in Michigan, so we always travel on Christmas Day to Michigan, which is a really easy day to travel. I mean, I've been doing it when I moved down here for college in 2001.
Yeah.
It's pretty much every year I've gone up there other than 2020 during COVID. So it was like going up on Christmas Day, driving through Ohio. There's like no traffic. There's just gas stations open, and we just time it. We time it. We go to my wife's family for lunch, kind of brunch, and then we hit the road and we're up there for dinner. So it's really good.
We went to my daughter and I took my sister to Frankenmuth for her birthday the day after Thanksgiving. Traffic wasn't bad then either, though. I mean, it was snowing up there, but it still wasn't bad. So,
yeah. Well, we got a lot to get to, Nicole. So I wanted to, obviously, we're going to do the envelope icebreaker game, which everybody seems to enjoy that are on this. So I have a couple of questions. I'm not going to talk during this because I have seen that sometimes it does not really come through on the recording. So I'm just going to play it. Hopefully it'll work. So if people are watching, they can see this awesome commercial about Payroll Partners.
Thanks.
So yes, to learn more about Payroll Partners, go to payrollpartners.net. Say no more to hotlines and hold times. You get humans the human element, the personal touch and connection that you get with our team, and it's amazing. All right, so the envelope icebreaker game.
Yeah.
I have given everybody the questions beforehand, and we have gone through this. A lot of people, if they've watched it, I try to shift around the questions in the envelopes. So obviously, whichever number you pick is going to possibly reflect the same number as another question that have come up, but we'll get to it here, and I just want to pull this up, see if it'll work. Come on, Restream, work with me. Come on, it's trying.
It looked like it was trying.
It's trying to load. It's playing.
There we go.
There we go. Got to do that before the actual game. So again, if you're watching live, we'll get to these awesome questions that you put in the comment section about this topic that everyone will hear more about in a minute. But we're going to do the envelope icebreaker game, 1 through 15. I've got the envelope. So you have a number in mind, Nicole?
I do. I think it was 6.
6. All right.
Yes.
I think
that's the one that
Okay.
I mean, start strong, right? So let's start with 6.
All right. What is the top place to go on your bucket list?
So the top place to go on my bucket list,
yep,
is actually Australia, because I have a great friend, Ben Watts and Sel Watts, from What's Next HR, have a home in Australia, and Ben lives there. I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 95% of the year. Wow. But he sends us beautiful photos of it, and I've always wanted to go. So yeah, Australia for sure is on the top of my list. I've been to Europe. I love it. It's beautiful. Yeah. I would like to go to Ireland, but Australia is definitely on the bucket list.
Yeah, there's a lot of I haven't really gone out of the country a lot. It's I've gone to Mexico and Hawaii, which has been great, but going over to like Scotland, and I'm a big golfer, so playing some of the old golf courses in
St. Andrews,
some of the parts of it's one day. Yeah, Australia, Greece, there's a few places we want to go, and raising kids to take them is probably a little bit more expensive than just taking yourself. So hopefully one day we'll get to some of those places. So, all right. Let's do one more question before we round this out. What, other than 6, what number you got other than
3?
3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Last one of the year. Number 3 is, what was your first job that you earned a paycheck with taxes deducted?
My first job that was an actual paycheck with taxes deducted, I worked for TJ Maxx.
Oh, yeah.
I was in high school, and I worked for TJ Maxx, and there was a bank in the strip mall where the TJ Maxx was, and I would literally get my check, go down, cash it, come back, and pay for any of the stuff that I had picked out while I was working that week. And it was totally fair to my parents, because they're like, hey, at least we're not buying it, right? So nice. I had a job, I made money, it just never left the store. So I was both the best customer and a great worker, all in one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you weren't alone at doing it that way, I'm
sure. Yeah.
So, well, for those who have not watched Speakeasy HR before and that are familiar with Nicole and her background and her services, this podcast I started over the summer. Really, it was something that I would watch myself as an HR professional to talk about the easy and not so easy things in business and HR. So the Speakeasy HR, the name kind of came from where I live. I live in Kentucky. We make 95% of the world's bourbon. I'm a big bourbon fan. So just it all kind of blended together and kind of came together in this fun environment that people like Nicole come on and talk about a topic that's relevant to them, they're passionate about. So everybody that I bring on, I ask them the same question. What are you most passionate about? And so when I asked you, Nicole, it's been a few months since we connected, and you were on my list that was the shorter list earlier this year, and just some of the work you've done in hacking HR and some of the other functions, disrupt HR I've seen, and so I was like, you would be a great guest, and you were kindly enough in your time and everything you got going on to come on and talk about something, which we're going to get to, because I think you will have a lot of perspective and background and sharing your ideas and about delegation. So this kind of goes into the world of business owners and leaders and managers. I have seen it firsthand when smaller businesses that grow, the owner and the people that are heavily involved, they have a hard time delegating, and they want to hold on to everything. Right. So I want to dive into this topic. And first, why did you pick this topic then, when it relates to the stuff that you're into these days?
So I feel like more and more people are trying to do more with less, right? And like you were saying, sometimes you hold on to too much, and then you can't do the things that only you can do because you're still worried about taking care of things that you've maybe hired a team to do, or maybe you've got somebody there that you can delegate to, that you can grow, that you can develop, and you have just such a unrealized opportunity if you're not truly using, and I call it the gift of delegation as a play on words with when Brene Brown's book, The Gifts of Imperfection, and the timing of obviously the holiday, it truly is a gift. Delegation is truly a gift. And you just have to get your mindset into the right frame of what delegation really is.
Yeah. And we're going to get into it. And it kind of falls back into the work you do at People Solutions Group. So tell people about People Solutions Group that have not heard of it before.
Sure. So I started People Solutions Group in a time that, anybody would think is a great time to start a business, right? I had been diagnosed with breast cancer, and I had been laid off from my job. And I thought, well, single mom, you need to find a way to have an income. And so I started People Solutions Group because I wanted to have an ability to help businesses, help business owners. I have a lot of friends that are entrepreneurs and are small business owners. And so we would be sitting around a dinner table or drinks or coffee or something, and they'd be sharing some challenge that they had. And the reason why I called it People Solutions Group is because there are a myriad of business challenges, and at the core of them, there is a people solution for that challenge.
Hi, I'm Carmen Hudson. I'm the host of the Recruiting Book Club, and we're starting our second season. I'm so excited to bring to you another set of guests of recruiters who have written books. We are excited to have some very special guests this season. We've got Shally, we've got Craig Fisher, James Ellis, and quite a few other people that we're going to bring on board to tell us about what they wrote, why they wrote it, and maybe we'll veer off into a conversation about recruiting on all types of topics and subjects that happen in our industry. So I hope you can join us. I'm excited.
Very good. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it really does. And so you do a lot of coaching, leadership development programs, onboarding development, facilitation, building and developing people teams, fractional executive people services. So a lot of things that you have probably seen over your years and can share that with other business owners. So, so that's great. Yeah, I think it's great. And I think why. So let me ask you a couple of questions, and we are live. So if you are watching live, fire away your questions for Nicole, and I will try to pull them up on the chat. So delegation, why do you think it's such a challenge for leaders to do this?
I think it's twofold. I think one, that people don't know how, right? Yep. I also think that there is, especially if you're brand new to it, you're not confident enough in your ability to share the understanding and the expectation when you delegate. And also, I was actually having lunch with somebody yesterday, and we were talking about this. She's a business owner. And we were talking about the challenges with delegation. And I said, what is a challenge with you? And she said, because I've built this business and it's my name on the line and it's my reputation and, all of those things, right? But then also, when you have done everything in the business, it's not always easy to then even know what is appropriate to delegate, right? And the other piece to it is that a lot of times we make the decision. I know this was me early on when I was first being a leader and a manager. I would make the decision for the other person early on of, oh, well, you wouldn't want to do that because that's like my least favorite thing. So why would I want you to do that and teach you to do that and have that be your responsibility? You always want to give people the fun, exciting, challenging things. And what you fail to realize is every part of your job is a new and challenging thing to somebody when they've not done it before. And so if something seems like it is commonplace and maybe not the most exciting or challenging or, really going to just move the business forward piece of your job, it doesn't mean that it's not the first time for somebody and that it's not something that they'd be maybe excited and eager to learn.
Yeah. No, that's very well said, because I've seen that firsthand. So, so what's the difference between delegating tasks and truly empowering your team?
So delegating can be very transactional, right? Like, these are the things that I have to do, and this is a task. Versus if you're truly empowering your team, you say, hey, team, these are the things that we have been entrusted by the organization to deliver. So these are the results that are expected of us. This is the timeline that we have to have those results delivered in. And I know that bringing this to the team, even if it's just you and one other person, right? Even if you're just having a one-on-one with somebody, hey, this is what our team is expected to deliver. What ideas do you have? Because 2 heads are better than 1, 3 heads, 4 heads, 5 heads, however many. What are your ideas of how we could do this? Because I know how I would approach it, and I'll take my 21 years of HR experience, right? And I will tell you how I would approach it and make sure that you have the tools, support, resources that you need. But at the end of the day, I would be really excited to see how you not only view the problem, but what resources and what strategies that you would implement to deliver this objective. And I mean, just stand back and let people amaze you, because everybody has a different experience and perspective that they're going to bring to your challenge or your problem. And you don't have to give them a step-by-step tutorial with screenshots in order to accomplish that given objective. Tasks, that's when it's great to have. I get made fun of by one of my friends because I use scribe as a verb. So I say, oh yeah, I scribed that and made the step-by-step tutorial, right?
Yeah.
When you're delegating a project, and when you have a objective and an end result, that's not the time for that step-by-step tutorial.
Yeah. Yep. So what steps can leaders take to empower their team members without micromanaging? Because a lot of people would not want to be micromanaged.
Right.
And that's one of the words that people try to stay away from. So what would you say are some of the steps for leaders?
I mean, nothing makes somebody feel less like you believe in them than by micromanaging them. And I think that any time that you are a leader, if you're going to invest in yourself and on your skill set and what you need to do better, not one person has mastered, not at any point in time, accidentally micromanaging somebody when you had no intent to, right? And so the basics is, first you start with really clearly defined expectations and desired outcomes. Like I said with the meeting, right? Like, this is what is expected of us. This is what we're supposed to deliver. This is what good looks like. This is the tools, the resources. What training do you need, right? Maybe you've got an idea, but you don't quite know how to execute it.
Right.
That's when me, as your leader, as your manager, that's where my job comes in, because you've come up with this wonderful idea, but maybe you just don't know how to get it started or what resources are available to you. That's when I come in. And so I am support, I'm guidance, we're checking in. If it's like a triage situation and we're fixing something, we're going to check in a whole lot more often than if it's something that is now in kind of maintenance mode. Then maybe we're checking in monthly or biweekly on the status of this. If it's something really urgent in the beginning, maybe we're checking in every morning or every afternoon, because I want to make sure that you don't get to a point where you're going to go, off the path and we're operating in parallel, and you're not going to get to the desired result. And at the end of the day, people feel good about being trusted to use their education and experience and expertise to solve a problem.
Yeah, you bring up the one word that I think is, for me and for a lot of people, how you trust them.
Mm-hmm.
When you're hiring people and you're trying to build a business, and you are delegating or trying to figure out, navigate through what to delegate, and to what extent you do that without just making everybody do your job. It's like, you got to hire people that are smart and that you can trust. And to trust them, you've got to give them the ability to prove that to you with making mistakes. But like you said, just being available to help people navigate through those decision-making steps. And so, trusting people, I think that's where we see, not in my workplace, but I've heard it's just like, people don't want all of their staff to be working from home because they may not trust them to do their job. So it's like, we want you in the office and it's going to make me trust you more. It's like, is that really going to make me, feel like more trustworthy or not? Like, it's just so.
But when I hear that, I think, the thing in The Princess Bride, when it says, you keep saying that word, I don't think it means what you think it means. That is what I think when people say, well, I don't know if I can trust them. Do you not know if you can trust them, or do you not know if you can trust you?
Yeah. Yep.
Because the way that you establish trust is you set an expectation and you do what you said you were going to do. So set an expectation with somebody, allow them to do what they said they were going to do. You don't have a work from home issue. It's not the geography of where the work is getting done. It's, are they self-directed?
Yep.
Can they do the work? Did you provide clear, upfront, specific language that was shared language, right? Like, maybe somebody's newer to the organization and they don't actually know what you mean when you say whatever the company-wide acronym is. And you've not established a relationship with that person and established safety with them that they even feel like they could ask.
Right.
And so then when they don't meet your expectations because they've not followed your predetermined script, which you, by the way, didn't give them a copy of, then it leads to a lot of, unmet expectations and frustration and all of that, when at the very beginning, if you would have said, this is what we need to do, this is the expectation, don't use acronyms that you're not certain are a household name. Even things like, in the benefits world, we all know that STD means short-term disability. No, it does not out in the non-benefits world, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think 10 years ago in my career, I left a voicemail for someone about an STD claim. You better believe that person called me up and was like, I'm sorry, what are we talking about? And it's just a reminder. You need to have common language and be really clear up front of what that end goal looks like. What is the expectation?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad
I was supposed to hire 5 people by, the end of next month, then tell me your goal is to hire 5 people by the end of next month.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you want me to create some kind of strategy and do things on my own and give you what my vision is. If the actual goal is to hire 5, just tell the person, hey, yeah, our goal is hire 5 people.
Yep.
Okay. Now I would like to hear your strategy and how you would like to, go about accomplishing that.
I'm with Nicole Roberts, People Solutions Group. It's really fascinating that you bring up the communication, because I think that goes beyond just delegating. I think it's such a critical part for a leader or manager. So anybody that's in a managerial role, new to management, listening to this, if you are trying to focus on getting better in 2025, having clear communication, having clear expectations, and trying to get a team member to take on more and delegate to them, it all works so well together, and it can really make a huge impact on it, and the impact of their improvement and progress and career growth. Because again, if you don't have clear communication, it's not going to end well, and that person may become frustrated. You might have a job opening because someone might leave because of your managerial style and how you did not communicate well. So that definitely is something that I've seen too, is just not clear communication. You have somebody delegating, but it's like every time you delegate something, someone shouldn't have 20 questions back. And then they're questioning what they feel like is the right next thing to do. But then if it's like, well, what do they mean by that? Like,
right.
I have no idea. So what do? Do I go to somebody else? Do I ask the manager? Then will they get frustrated with me? So it's really important to have that clear communication. So, so what impact do you think delegation has on fostering that innovation within a team?
The best training that can just happen organically is having a team problem solve. I mean, you bring people in and they all have a different perspective, a diverse background, right? Yep. Like all from maybe a nonprofit or a public company, or, I worked for a company that had 50 people. I worked for a company that had 500. I worked for one that had 10,000, right? There are so many different ways to approach a problem. And I mean, there's always new technology, right? I mean, I had never heard of Monday.com when I joined Forta. And I mean, they leaned into using it. And I thought, oh, well, this is pretty cool. I like this. Likewise with, Scribe, I started using not that long ago. I mean, not even just from the tech side, but the different ways that people approach project management. I mean, some people really want a Gantt chart. Some people really want, like a Kanban board. Some people want, give me an Excel spreadsheet. So, I mean, it's all a matter of, it's not how you do it. It's, did you get to that end result? Did you stay in communication with people? And if you're bringing some new technology or process or system to the group, take the time and teach people what you're doing so that they can teach others.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's with technology changing, and that's what for our team and what we do in the payroll technology world, it's like things are changing all the time, and we have clients and customers that we communicate to about product updates and making sure they understand it so there's not confusion. A lot of it is sensitive information that we have in a system, so making it secure, making sure people know the safety protocols and the security of it. So, it comes with having to delegate to your team, having that communication and the why, and then having to potentially have that team member communicate it to a client. So it's like telephone. It's like, are they getting the same message that you gave to the team? Right. So, it can trickle down into other groups of individuals beyond just your team. So it's explaining the why. It's making sure that those people understand what it is that you're trying to get across to them, whether it's training software changes, things like that, and just really making sure that they feel safe to make a mistake, because I see that a lot. People don't want to make mistakes, and when they do, it's like they don't want to say anything because they feel they're going to get in trouble. So they'd rather just try to fix it themselves, and then it might become more of a problem. So
you can tell so much about the culture of an organization by the response to a mistake.
Yeah.
Definitely not going to name names, but we've all probably worked with a vendor in the past where a mistake happened and it is nothing but CYA, and you can tell that the person you're working with directly does not have safety to go above them and even above them to go and get help, when the first reaction to a mistake should be, how can we fix this? How can we help? Who can I get involved in this? Instead of hide, cover, don't let anybody know. I mean, you have got to bring light so that you can get help and get things remedied. And if it's not safe to make a mistake, it is immediately apparent by the way that somebody responds to whether it was a mistake, whether it was a glitch. I mean, it might not even have been a person mistake, right? It could have been a technology issue. And if that safety is not there, it's not going to be resolved in a timely manner, because they're not going to talk about it. They're not going to get the resources that they need.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some practical strategies for overcoming the fear of delegation?
Start small. I mean, if you've never delegated before, don't give somebody some, big. Start small, both from scope and also from exposure, right? Yeah. If you have the most important aspect of your job, that's probably not what you're going to delegate immediately. And also remember that you can delegate a task. You can delegate something to deliver. You do not ever delegate the accountability and responsibility, though, because you still own that. That still is gonna fall back on you at the end of the day, which is, I think, where people get tripped up with, well, but what if I delegate that to them and they do it wrong and then I have to redo it? And then that's a learning opportunity, and you're checking in with somebody often enough, not in a micromanaging way, but in a way that you can help them course correct before you totally blow a deadline, or before you have something. I mean, in very few instances are there mistakes that happen that can't be corrected and can't be fixed, but you have got to stay close enough to it and not just say, oh, well, I delegated that, and now I'm going to go over here and do this. And if anybody has questions, just ask that person. It's like, no, you still have to be there and to support them and to make sure that they know that you have their back at the end of the day, and that they can go to you with questions at any time, and that they are not ever bothering you. And that is the most important part of your job, is making sure that they are succeeding and that they feel supported in succeeding.
Yeah. Yeah. It's when you have a manager that was not at one point a manager and they get promoted,
oh my goodness,
and then they're managing their peers.
Yes.
That's another level of, it's a little bit more, what's the word? Difficult or challenging for that person, because everybody has to start somewhere. You don't just wake up and become a manager of a team. So you get promoted or you leave a company and you go to a job that is a managerial role. There's challenges with both of them, but it's definitely challenging when you have a team and then you get promoted because you did so well in that job. Now what? It's like, you got to delegate. You've got to be their manager, and it's sometimes very difficult for people. So it's kind of like, you don't really know what kind of manager that person might be until you actually put them in that role.
Right.
So for people listening to this, what, if you could give one good piece of advice to leaders, that are hesitant to delegate, what kind of advice would you give them?
be really transparent with your team. If you've not delegated before, and this is, I don't want to say an experiment, but this is something that's new to you because it's new to everybody once, right?
Right.
If it's something that's new to you, be transparent with your team.
Yeah.
If there is, do the work with yourself on what is it that's causing me to be uncomfortable about this, right? Same thing with approaching conflict.
Yeah.
What is it about this conflict that is just eating me up inside and that I just don't feel comfortable with? And what do I need to do for me to overcome the discomfort with it?
Yeah.
Because if you're afraid to give somebody feedback, for example, so especially in delegation, you're going to give feedback at some point in time. If you have not done the work for yourself to overcome what it is that's making you uncomfortable with delivering conflict, then you are missing out on the opportunity to help that person be better. Yeah. Feedback is always helping somebody's future behavior. It's not about being punitive about the past. And so when it comes to delegation, being very clear on what you're hoping to accomplish with it, right? I can only do the things, I should only be doing the things that only I can do. If I have the luxury and the privilege of having more people available to help, then I'm going to teach them how to do some things, and I'm going to empower them, and I'm going to make sure that they have the resources to be able to do things. And maybe it's something you don't even yourself know how to do, but it's something that's been asked of the team.
Right.
And you want to make sure that they know that, this is the budget, right? This is how long this is expected to take. This is how long you're going to be doing it. Because the other piece is you don't just delegate and walk away and then the person finds out, oh, well, I was only supposed to do that for a short period of time. And now they've taken it back. And now we're both doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Rachel said, yes. I think it was one of your other previous responses, but it was coming through on the chat. So I wanted to bring that up. So thanks, Rachel, for watching and adding that feedback. So yeah, it's just, one of those things that there's no perfect solution. There's no, one size fits all to delegating or really who to put in a responsibility to delegate as a manager, because I've seen people get promoted that probably were not the best person to promote.
Mm-hmm.
And then that becomes a bigger problem because people are like, well, they got promoted and I probably are better at my job than they are. Mm-hmm. And now they are going to delegate stuff to me and I don't respect them. And so it is an important piece to running the business, is to pick who to delegate, who to promote, who to transform into a different role that's a little bit more of a leadership lead kind of position within a company, especially one that's growing and, becoming a bigger organization than they were. So, in your experience, do you feel like there's one group of companies that have more of a challenge than others? Is it companies that are growing quickly, or is it companies that might have had the same managers for a decade? Just people might watch this, might be like, oh, we might fit in that category.
Yeah. The growing quickly. Yes, because there's really not anyone who has probably been in a role to have full mastery and understanding of even, how things work maybe in that piece of the business. But also with growing quickly, it's exciting because you're all tackling challenges maybe for the first time together.
Yep.
When somebody has been a peer for years and then all of a sudden they're the leader, that's where I see the greatest challenge.
Yeah.
Because they showed up differently as an individual contributor than they do as a leader, right? And their team might not be ready for that.
Right.
And they, you see definitely the, where somebody will be like, oh, hey, but, we've known each other for years, right? You can do insert whatever bend the rules thing here the person wants. And you just have to say, you know what, I really can't, because you wouldn't appreciate it if I did that for that person.
Yep.
Right. It's not about fair, because fair means, well, first of all, the fair is in the summertime and there's funnel cake, and they're like in business, we're not looking for fairness. We're looking for consistency. And so in that example, I really can't do this because you wouldn't appreciate it if I did that for that other person in the exact same or in a similar situation. Right. But in the case of, when you were talking before about working remote, well, why does so-and-so get to work from home and so doesn't? Well, maybe that aspect of their job. And if you were in that exact same situation, you would appreciate that same flexibility, right? Versus, well, that person has a public-facing, client-facing role. They can't do that from home, unfortunately. So it's not about, oh, well, I can't let you do it because I can't let you do it. That's not it. It's in this same set of circumstances, understanding that I can only make decisions with the information I have in front of me and available to me. This is what I would do.
Yeah. Trinity said, that has been insightful. Thanks for watching. Tom, thumbs up. Rachel said, it is so important to set these new leaders who have been ICs for a long time for success, just like you would for a brand new leader coming into the organization 100%. So sounds like you are connecting with these folks watching and helping them kind of understand better. So thank you, Rachel. This has been really, really impactful to me because, I'm in a smaller organization and I want to help our team and grow a group of people that really are going to have to delegate more. Mm-hmm. And there are some companies that just struggle with that. And I'm definitely not perfect at what I do. And I think there are definitely strategies behind every business to delegate better and make sure that the right people are in those roles to help delegate to their team. And so people that are watching that have not talked to Nicole, you can go out to People Solutions Group, and there's a QR code on the screen to get to her information. If you want to connect with Nicole, you can go and get some assessment, 30 minutes, and talk to her. I'm going to pull that up as a QR code as well. So it's a just invite to her calendar. But obviously, check out her services on People Solutions Group. And she's involved in a lot of different environments. And you also do some stuff with Hacking HR.
I do.
I wanted to bring that up. You're the founding member of the Hacking HR. So people that haven't known of Hacking HR, what is that in a nutshell?
So Hacking HR started quite some time ago, and I'm a founding member of kind of a council for Hacking HR, and so it's a expert council for Hacking HR. And in the beginning, Hacking HR was designed to be a global platform where people could get free or low cost resources for development, for connection. And so I used to, and still try to, but don't have as much bandwidth as I used to, moderate panels, or I would speak as part of a panel. And Hacking HR not too long ago shifted and now actually has entire learning tracks.
Yeah.
And there's also going to be an in-person event coming up. So that's very exciting.
Oh, wow.
But for me, the reason why I got involved in Hacking HR, and I was in Ohio SHRM, and I was in Cincy SHRM, and the Forbes HR Council, and I can't even remember them all right now. But the reason why I get involved in things like that is because I believe very strongly that there's at no point in time in my career did I ever get to a place that was not as a direct result of some help from somebody else who'd come before me.
Yep.
And so it is our privilege and our honor that when you get to a certain level in your career, you need to turn around and help the people behind you. And so that's why I do so many volunteer leadership things. Clearly, when I was fighting for my life, I didn't do that much, but back to doing more now that I'm approaching 2 years since diagnosis. So yeah, that's wonderful, right? And just to comment on the QR code for the 30 minutes. So when I was diagnosed, the thing that had the most impact on me and just really spoke to my spirit was being able to meet with other people and help them. And so that 30 minutes is zero obligation for anything other than let's just chat and talk and how can I help you? And my greatest strength is my network. So maybe I can learn something from somebody and then connect them to somebody else in my network. And I know that it looks like maybe there was a little bit of a switch on the topic of my name and title and so forth. So I do want to address that. I know in the intro video, I said, hi, I'm Nicole Roberts, Chief People Officer of, Jones Lake Management. And my position was eliminated with Jones, and I wish them the best. The decision was made to decentralize HR. And so there's not, there's fortunately not a need for my role. I'm very fortunate to have the business and to have the relationship with HCI where I facilitate courses, but also I have more free time than I normally do. So please take advantage of the 30 minutes. I would love to spend some time and talk to people that I probably haven't caught up with in quite some time because I've been quite busy the last year, but I just really want to be able to help in any way that I can. And I'm going to take this opportunity to, give back and really just thank the HR community for as much as they loved on me and supported me over the last 2 years.
Yeah, no, I think the HR community, just people I've met and people I've been introduced to, folks like yourself and others that I've had on the show that have introduced me to other people. It's just been great. And so if there's anything that I can do, or if anybody watching that has not talked to Nicole or have, understood what she does for her services, it's an amazing list of services that next year you might want to focus on and talk to her about what they can, what you're going to do for them, from a coaching perspective or leadership development. So it's obviously something that every business probably wants to spend more effort on and improving their team and their people. And so definitely reach out to Nicole if you have not seen what she does. You can go to peoplesolutionsgroup.com and learn more, or connect with her and get some information from her website, or connect and have 30 minutes with her on your schedule. So I appreciate everybody watching. Nicole, you've been amazing. I am so glad we got you on before the end of the year. And is there anything you want to add before we jump off today?
The only comment that I want to make, because we didn't address it directly, is when you do go to delegate, make sure that you understand the people that you work with enough to know if they have bandwidth for it. The last thing you want to do is add to an already overflowing plate. So first and foremost, ask somebody, hey, do you have availability now to learn this, to do this? And also make sure that it's safe, that if it's not the right season for them to be adding on more, that it needs to be okay to say, not at this time, but I'd love to be considered in the future.
Yeah. No, that's very good to add, because this end of the year stuff, and people, especially in our world, this is our busy season. Yeah. End of the year, tax W-2s and everything that comes with the first of the year, the first quarter of the year. And it's just very busy. So delegating right now during the holidays and trying to get things done may not be the best time. So just plan accordingly and try to make the delegation happen when there's better timing, maybe for people to branch out and learn more from you. So, and really be a mentor, be somebody that they can learn from. And I think my favorite managers have been people, and my current manager, people that really want to be more than a manager for somebody. Not know everything about them, like personally, but help them grow as a person in their career and give them the opportunity to do that. So delegating can really help that. So, well, I wish you all the best, Nicole. I hope you have a great holiday season. Hopefully we'll connect again next year. I'm sure you will stay busy with everything you have going on, but it's been really nice to talk through this all. And I think, Sarah, thanks. Have a brilliant Christmas and all the best for 2025. It'll be an exciting year of new technology, and who else, what else will come out with the new election finished and all the different policies and things that we'll all have to keep up on. So HR people will be, I'm sure, busy.
Yes, I'm sure.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and have a great holiday season.